No problem. Try to make this as brief as possible. We have 4 policy updates today. The first one is a new policy. It was reviewed by the Policy and Forms Committee on February 20th. It was initially created because of an issue coordinated with defects. And this is the smoke vapor-free school environment policy number 2.89. This was basically created in order to address everything that's not cigarette or tobacco. It incorporates or lifts out of the statute the separate definition for a vaping device, and it also includes a provision to address the medical use of marijuana that you already have adopted in your other policy for students. And if you have any questions about this, a vaping device can include tobacco or nicotine that may not, and there's no real way to analyze it and determine whether it falls under the tobacco policy or not. So this would basically catch anything else that is not nicotine that someone may be using. So the only language I've added since the Policy and Forms Committee is highlighted for any other substance, just to be a catch-all to include anything that might be in it. Anyone have any questions?
Why do we get specific with the electronic cigar, electronic cigarette, electronic pipe? But I mean, we usually keep it pretty broad, but
That comes right in the statute.
oh, that does. Okay. All right, I'm good with this
I think
policy.
I've included everything in it, but if not, we'll revisit it. But everybody's good with it.
I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Next one is policy 4.18, academic and career planning. This policy is being revised to indicate that the student progression plan is updated annually and included in this policy. The Policy and Forms Committee reviewed it at the February 20th meeting, and this was in lieu of creating a new policy. We just wanted to, it was thought that we could just include it in the existing policy to state that the student progression plan includes that information. Ms. Stanley's here too, if you have any questions.
Ms. Stanley, is there a reason why it says it must be internet-based? Is that part of statute?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what that's an odd requirement that
Yes,
it
sir.
is, instead of, maybe.
Yes.
Okay. I figured it must be, because I couldn't imagine that we would.
Yes, sir, I have the, if you.
Oh, no, I trust you. I
Yeah,
just was.
It is interesting. The course must be internet-based, customizable to each student. We took it verbatim from the.
Okay.
Wow.
And we
Seems a little less personal.
we
Yes,
were
it
required
does.
to add the 6th grade. That was a requirement to add 6th grade.
We are, in Citrus County, it is, according to statute, it must be completed in grade 6, 7, or 8. So it doesn't make any difference. We've chosen to do it during our 8th grade world history and career planning.
Right.
Yes,
But
sir.
I just looked at the new policy does add 6th, and that's, I guess, just to
Yes,
cover it.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Statute, okay.
Yes, sir.
But we're doing it in 8th grade,
Yes, sir.
and that's not, there's not plans to change that right now.
No, sir.
Okay,
We are not.
perfect.
It amazes me that because a lot of people think that this is something new, and I know when I was in Evanston, like 20 years ago, we were doing this. It's just, I guess we didn't have it in a form like this. But what was being done is being done 20 years ago with career planning.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
Fran's having a hard time hearing you.
Okay, sorry. So it's nothing new, but it's just written down so people know it's there.
Yes, ma'am.
And it does get frustrating because of that, Ms. Powers. You're right, because this has gone back and forth. We didn't have a plan, now we had a plan, now we're going back to technically not having a plan. We're going to have an online career thing. And I say that because behind the scenes, our staff and our teams have been trying to fill those gaps, and they'll continue to have to do that because this is, this really, I mean, they've taken out the career plan and instead now replaced it with an internet-based, customizable, student research-based assessments assistance.
The one thing that I noticed was, I mean, we took out the career plan at the end of the sentence on the first paragraph, and then we go into number 2 that we talk about the plan. So my thought was the purpose of this course, and I'm reading in paragraph 1, the purpose of this course shall be to enable students and parents to develop personalized academic achievement, should we say plan there, or academic achievement and career plan and goals? I mean, we don't reference plan in there. I mean, we say goals. So
That's a good point.
we should either change to say the academic and career goals shall include, or we should change goals to plan, right?
Maybe it is academic and career goals.
Well, if you look at the actual bill states it as, to assist students in determining educational, career options and goals. In addition, the course must result in, I'm sorry. Do I need my mask on or can I? Okay.
If you stand close to Chuck, you will.
Okay. The bill actually states that, that include a research-based assessment to assist students in determining educational, career options and goals. In addition, the course must result in a completed, personalized academic and career plan for the students that may be revised as the students progress through middle school. So we try to take the verbiage as much as possible from
Right.
the actual bill.
So I say let's just add plan in that first paragraph.
I think if
Yeah, I think
if
that's
you
what-
reread it, you just said
Yes.
career plans.
But it's not in this, so I think we do have to add that.
Yes, that sounds like a wonderful idea.
That sounds like a plan.
That sounds like a plan. Yes, sir.
So where would that go?
Yes, yes.
Where we put it?
I'll wait till he's finished it. I have a copy of the actual, So, the purpose of the course shall be to enable students and parents to develop academic achievement and career plan for post-secondary experience. Okay.
And then number 2 is right in the academic and career plan shall include.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
it's
sir.
the other.
Yes.
Goals in there.
Nice catch, Mr. Dunn.
That's what I said.
Linda, they're asking you to speak into the mic. I know.
I did. Okay, excuse me, y'all, I'm swallowing the mics. No. No need to revive me. I just.
Get her a lavalier.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we'll make that revision for advertising the public hearing.
Yes, sir.
The third item is policy 7.40, fundraising for school projects and activities. This previous reference policy is no longer applicable as it was repealed. And this just simply adds the reference to the new wellness policy, which is 2.95 instead of the older policy. No other changes are proposed. It's the only change.
Tony appreciates that.
Okay.
We all hear it at the Zach's meetings that we go to.
And the final item is initiated by the Finance Department, Policy 7.52, Travel Expense Reimbursement. This is to address a new requirement for board member travel and bring it up to date. When I also sent it to NEFAC, they had some other updates, so those have been incorporated into our policy just to make it consistent with their template. And I think Ms. Wilson is here, or was here, but if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer those.
I did have one on this, Chuck, on Roman numeral 8. We talk about requested travel or request for reimbursement, and it says any travel outside the district by a board member that exceeds $500. Well, I know Mr. Kennedy's gonna be going places with FSBA, I go to the Stoneman Douglas Commission, and those travel expenses are not paid by this district. So those travel expenses are paid through, for instance, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement case, in my case, and Thomas, and Robert Jr., I don't know, you guys go to FSBA. So I think we need to say either any requested travel or any request for travel. It is in that same paragraph, a little bit below, any request for travel outside the state. This is travel that we are requesting reimbursement for.
Is this, do you know, Mr. Bradshaw, was this taken out of statute?
It was, I mean.
So it's verbatim out of statute?
Yeah, all it is, if you're requesting reimbursement from the district, you gotta comply with it.
Right.
But it doesn't, I think, as Mr. Dodd's saying, if you read this and you didn't know, it doesn't, unless I'm missing something, does it say it where it, yeah, because I don't see where it qualifies reimbursement, but just has to do with the travel itself.
I think we just say, if we just stay consistent, any request for travel outside the district. You know, if we're not requesting to get reimbursed, we can go to Tallahassee, pay our own way, we can go to a...
Paragraph 1, travel expenses incurred by employees or other authorized personnel involved in conducting school board business may be reimbursement authorized by the superintendent.
So that's where it establishes that this is for reimbursement.
It's for travel, yes.
Okay. So then we wouldn't have to worry about it because that's only has to do with the reimbursement.
Right.
Does that make sense, Mr. Dodd?
No, I don't know why we just don't stay consistent. In paragraph 8, it says any request for travel. Why don't we say any request for travel? Why do we say it
Because
below that?
it's the statute.
Because it's only for travel outside the district that you have to do this.
Well, what I'm saying is that if you're requesting reimbursement, if you're traveling outside the district, but you're not requesting reimbursement, you don't have to do any of this.
Right.
I'll look into it. Proof for advertising, we'll change it at the meeting, but I'll get
Okay. Works for me.
Thank you.
I can tell you, I only think that it's gonna apply for reimbursement from the district, Mr. Dodd. I get your point, and I'll take it.
Okay, thank you.
And that concludes our policy updates and workshops.
Okay. Any other business to come before the workshop? We'll stand adjourned.
Audio went, but no video. Well, that part didn't go out. Oh my.
But I want to say we'll do this. Let's do it soon. It actually kills me to say that. See you, Buster. Thank you.
Nice, thanks. Yeah.